call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Education, which was duly noticed on June 13th, 2022, through posting a notification of the press in accordance with Wisconsin 19.84. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Most of the time. All right. Okay, could I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Okay, that was Commissioner Ardrey and Commissioner Herda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Safety message, Commissioner Paul.
Thank you. Today's topic came last minute as a topic that was a discussion in our kitchen today, which revolves around the UV index. And we actually had to do a Google search. And this was before I remembered that it was my time to do the safety message, so it was appropriate. So what is the UV index? UV index informs the public of the level of UV exposure expected on a given day. It is reported as a prediction of the UV level at noon, although the actual UV level rises and falls as the day progresses. The ultraviolet UV index was developed in 1994 by the National Weather Service and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and helps Americans plan outdoor activities to avoid overexposure to UV radiation and thereby lower their risk for adverse health effects. UV radiation exposure is a risk factor for skin cancer, cataracts, which was a conversation I just had with my eye doctor, and other illnesses. The incidence of skin cancer, including melanoma, has increased significantly in the United States since the early 1970s. So as of May 2004, the EPA and NWS will report the global solar UV index, which uses a scale of 1, which is low, to 11, which is and higher, which is considered extreme. Just for a point of interest, today's UV index was reported locally as 9, so it was pretty darn high today. The UV index reminds people to protect themselves when engaging in their normal outdoor activities. UV radiation exposure poses varying degrees of risk for all people because it affects eyes and skin. People with sensitive skin should always take action to protect themselves. It's especially important that parents and caregivers know how to protect babies and young children who are more susceptible to overexposure. And I have just a few more tips. Check the UV index for the UV forecast when you are planning your outdoor activities this summer. Of course, limit exposure during the midday hours, and usually like 10 to 2, those are the highest. Seek shade. Wear clothing made from tightly woven fabrics. UV rays can pass through holes and spaces in loosely knit fabric. Lawn sleeve shirts and pants are recommended, although that would not have been very pleasant today. Wear a hat with a wide brim that protects the eyes, face, and neck. Wear sunglasses that provide 100% UV protection. Not all sunglasses do, but I did learn that many contacts offer UV protection. Use broad spectrum sunscreens with at least sun protection factor of SPF 15, which is pretty low, but at least that, and reapply regularly. And remember to apply sunscreen on any part of the skin that's exposed to the sun, such as nose, back, neck, and the rims of the ears. Use lip balms or creams containing sunscreen as well. And if you'd like more information about the UV index, you can check out the website epa.gov, which is where I found this information today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I just had to bring it up because I was thinking of Greg today. It just came to I was out weed whacking in the backyard and I had safety glasses on and I caught a rock right on my safety glass. My first thought was, God darn, Greg. Seriously, that was my first thought.
You saved your eye. All right. We're at citizen comments. Do we have any citizen comments tonight? No? Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Okay. Okay, that was Commissioner Ardrey and Commissioner Hayworth. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, that passes. All right, we have special guests in the house tonight. Mr. Garner?
Thank you, Commissioner Myers. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to honor our spring state qualifying athletes tonight per the board's request. Both ADs from the high school are unable to be here tonight. However, I am going to start by introducing Coach Corey. If he could come up and we'll just go from there. Please.
Thank you for having us here tonight. My name's Brent Corey. I'm the head boys golf coach at Craig High School. These are players. We have Easton Hayworth, Kyle Krastowski, Alex Falcon, Wyatt Marshall, and Bryce Sullivan was not able to make it tonight. Nick English is my assistant coach. Pretty exciting year. As a team, we qualified for state. When we set our goals earlier this season, we wanted to be playing our best golf at the end of the year, and I think we surprised some teams at our conference meet and finished third. The next week we went on to regionals, and won our regional, and then placed second at sectionals to qualify as a team for our state tournament, which was we got to go to Kohler and play the Black Wolf Run courses, so that was pretty exciting. Thank you for the support of the school. I'd like to congratulate the other spring qualifiers as well. We've got a young team, sophomores and freshmen up here, so soon to be juniors though, right? Look forward to the next couple of years. They're all working hard. They all play in tournaments over the summer, so we're looking forward to hopefully getting an opportunity to represent Janesville again. You guys did a nice job. Thank you. Coach Miles. Coach Miles in the track will be up next.
I'm Coach Brandon Miles. I'm the head girls track coach at Craig High School. Coach Deininger is on a trip with Mr. McCormick, so he wasn't able to make it. Our athletes up here today all qualified for the state track meet in lacrosse. We have Levi Booker, Jessa Alderman, Nellie Soto, Juliana Moran, Abby Anderson, and Kara Riley. We are missing two, Addison Fagan and Riley Coleman. We had a fantastic year. These are amazing kids who really put a lot of time and energy and effort into becoming really excelling at their discipline. Really successful year in a lot of things. We had two new school records that we'll have to add to our record board coming up. One of them set by Jessa. She set the discus school record, and then she bettered it twice more on top of that. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And then our 4x800 meter relay of Kara Riley, Abby Anderson, Juliana Moran, and Riley Coleman also set the school record in the 4x800 meter. And then we had two state medalists. Jessa actually medaled twice. She took third overall in the discus at the state meet, and she took fifth overall at the shot put. And then Riley, who isn't here, she took second for the second year in a row in the 800 meters. She lost to a girl who actually set the national record. So it was pretty good. So she also had a great year too. And I'll welcome up Coach Shu and Parker Trek.
Good evening. My name is Dick Shu. I'm the head boys track coach at Parker High School. My other head coach, Mark Little, has since retired and he's moved up to Park Falls, so he could not be here today. First of all, I'd like to introduce our track and field athletes that made it to the state meet. First of all, my daughter, Shaylin Shu in the 4x2. Maya Barnes in the 400 and as an alternate in the 4x2. Trey Sanda in the long jump, Emma Lippens as an alternate in the 4x2, Diesel Richards in the 300-meter hurdles, and Mia Riley in the 4x2. We're also missing Brooke Payne in the 4x2 and Amber Scoville. Amber Scoville also made it in the pole vault. I'm extremely proud of these young men and women for. Oh, I will. I'm extremely proud for these guys, for the men and women, and what they've done and the dedication they give to our sport. Someone else that's missing is Jake Brost. I thought Jake was going to be here, but he's not, and he made it in the shot put and the discus. So again, I want to thank the school board and the School District of Janesville for giving these kids the opportunity to compete at the highest level. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's all we have tonight. Did we miss anyone? There's a lot of kids here for a summer. Summer evening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for representing the School District of Janesville.
Thank you, and thank all the parents too for all their support. Awesome. Thank you, you guys represent well. Thank you.
Yes, and you don't have to stay. If you want to, you can stay.
We got a lot of cool stuff, but. You guys should go out for ice cream.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Something.
All right. Next on our list is to consider approval of the administration's recommendation for Jackson Elementary School principal. Mr.
Good
Garrick.
evening once again. It's my sincere pleasure to recommend Ms. Sarah Brem for the principal of Jackson Elementary School. Sarah has been with us for approximately 9 years in the district, started at Kennedy as a, I believe, first grade teacher, sorry, I had that memorized. First grade teacher, and then moved into the academic learning coach role at Jackson and has been the building assistant there for the last year. She brings dedication, she brings intelligence, she brings common sense to her role as she served as the interim principal at Jackson Elementary School. It'll be a 1-year contract because we want to keep them all on the same cycle at the cost of $108,600.
Motion for approval?
Okay, the motion's been there's a motion by Commissioner Murray, second by Commissioner Hayworth. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, thank you very much. Oh, don't go anywhere.
Nope, I'm right here.
Okay. So 3.3, this is about approving an independent hearing officer.
Motion for approval?
Second.
Okay, as Commissioner Murray and Commissioner Millard. Do we,
So every year we have to authorize a resolution that the board wants an IHO. That's what you're approving tonight, right now.
okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. All right, that passes. And now, the last piece of that puzzle is to consider appointing Sarah Garrick.
So moved.
Okay, well, you guys are trying to compete to see who does it first.
Before we do that, I want to point out that Sarah has been very dedicated to the school district. She's done a great service for us. You'll notice her rate has increased because she's really been doing it ultimately for peanuts, honestly. So we did increase her rate this year. I wanted the board to be aware.
Okay, so that was a motion from Commissioner Ardrey and then Commissioner Herda. Okay, any further discussion?
No comment.
Yeah.
I just want to say, well, Sarah, and fortunately, many of my fellow board members have seen and been to the independent hearing for various expulsions and things, but she does an outstanding job of not just, representing our policies, but also trying to connect with the families and ultimately the students and trying to do the best for them. So that's why I think we should continue to have her. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Okay, thank you. You can sit down now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Okay, Mr. McCray, 3.5, provide administration with direction to deposit all unspent dollars from fiscal year 21-22.
That's very kind. So, thanks. There's a memo within the board packet, obviously available to the board as well as the community as a whole. And essentially, this is an annual exercise we go through. So currently, we have actually within the operating budget this year, 2.5 million for the OPEB benefit. So it's not really excess funds. It's actually a line this year. So that's a great movement forward and hopefully something we can continue with rather than saying, okay, what's left, right? So it's a commitment that the board and the district has made to its retirees. Also congratulatory, I suppose, remarks in terms of the board has really managed the OPEB obligation over time. That's a good thing as well. So there's a recommendation in the memo. So essentially we have 2.5 budgeted. We will have some extra funds available at year end. Again, it's roughly about 120 million general fund budget, right? And then the remaining balance we would ask to put into Fund 46, which is our long-term capital maintenance fund.
Second.
Okay, that was Commissioner Murray and then Commissioner Millard. Yes, Carl?
Comments?
Yeah.
I'd like to compliment our fiscal department that does such a good job. You have to watch it very carefully on the funding, and I think people should know it isn't we're wasting money by putting in the budget. It's because at the end of the year, you don't spend every penny in that year for a variety of reasons. A lot of it is the things we see today, slow in transportation, getting parts, getting different things. Things just don't fit perfectly on timing. And they do a great job keeping track of it, making sure we take care of it and save it. If we have those monies left over, will actually cost us in future years. So it's very important that we deposit it as best we can. So I want to thank our school, for lack of a better term, I'll call it fiscal department,
Sure.
and every one of them, they do a heck of a job, and say thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for that. It's certainly a group effort, really, and it's our intent as the business services group to support instruction in the classroom. That's really what we're there to do. So any dollar we can save or use judiciously is hopefully something we can pour back into the classroom.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, seeing none, this is an action item, so all in favor, we have a motion. So all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the last thing on our agenda here, at least in the board items, is 3.6. This is the approval of the Janesville Education Association agreement with them. So basically, if you look at the memo, it was a team from the JEA that got together and administration and Commissioner Murray, Commissioner Millard, and myself to negotiate with the JEA, and thought it was a pretty good experience, honestly. So, and it was a good exchange of, concerns and requests, and what we came down to is what's in your memo. 4.7 on base, and then to continue to fully fund the cost of administering the current salary schedule, and then taking what was left in, because we are not doing dip and sip. We took that money and applied it to the salary schedule by infusing 1% in each cell. And so we need to approve this tonight. Do we have a motion for approval?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Murray, Commissioner Millard. Okay, any conversation? or questions? Yes,
Just to clarify, dip and sip covers the 1%.
yes.
It's like completely, there's nothing extra.
No, that's not actually accurate, so I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that we're, so. Oh, yeah, thank you. The 4.7 on base generates a pot of money. And there's math behind that, right? And then the dip and sip adds to that pot. You subtract out the cost of administering the salary schedule and the remaining dollars that are left, combination of some of the original pot on 4.7 and base combined with the dip and sip generates the 1%. And so it's the way you're distributing the pool of money that's available based on the 4.7 on base, plus the dip and the sip. So it's a little complicated, but
Any other questions?
I just want everybody to best. If they have questions or want to understand better, it's an important thing to make sure we all understand. Is it you?
I understand.
Okay.
I understand it. I don't necessarily love this high of a
Right.
percentage increase because I think that that sets a precedent for continuing years, but it can't be done again. I mean, no industry got 4.7 plus 1.
I guess there's an average increase of 3 point. Somebody help me.
yeah, so it's really not 5.7 the way you just kind of described it, because 4.7 on base generates a number. 4.7 is the 43.2 with the entry of the schedule. So that's not really giving everybody a 4.7% raise, right? The average raise, when you put it all together, is 3.8%, which is still a robust raise, but it's not 4.7 or 5.7 as I listened to you describe it.
Any other questions? Okay, all right, then, seeing nobody with a question, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, all right, great. I don't have any requests, that I know of. Has anything come in to you? No? Okay. Ms. Jensen, could you help us out? Could you help us out with, future meeting dates and so on?
It would be my pleasure. The next Finance, Buildings, and Grounds Committee meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 28th at 4 p.m. Currently, the location is to be determined. And then our next Board of Education meeting will be on Tuesday, July 12th at 6 p.m. here at the Educational Services Center.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. We have reached the end of our agenda and we are adjourned. Okay, and we can take a little quick break if you need to, because we've got a board training.
One of the things we'll need to do